Sing for the benefit of Mr. Hottie.
Old Ireland was a lovely place, a lovely place, a lovely place. Old Ireland was a lovely place long, long ago. But the taxes there grew very high, very high, very high. The taxes there grew very high not so long ago. Brown envelopes were handed round, handed round, handed round. Brown envelopes were handed round not long ago. And the clergy's cash began to smell, began to smell, began to smell. The clergy's cash began to smell not long ago. Then Ben Dunscocket bit his nose, bit his nose, bit his nose. Ben Dunscocket bit his nose not long ago. And Sister Margaret spilled the beans, spilled the beans, spilled the beans. Sister Margaret spilled the beans not long ago. Old Ireland will not be the same, be the same, be the same. Old Ireland will not be the same ever again.
Since the mid-90s, the Republic of Ireland has enjoyed economic growth averaging 6.5% per annum, has cornered over 25% of all direct investment by America and Europe, and has reduced unemployment to just over 4%. This damp little island, with its long history of poverty and emigration, has become the envy of Europe. The emigration problem of old is being replaced by one of immigration, as immigrants from across Europe and refugees from countries as remote as China and Nigeria flood into Ireland, hoping to share the new prosperity. In the slipstream of the Celtic Tiger, we are regarded as a dynamic, modern, multicultural nation, well-educated, confident and successful. How different from the old Ireland. A post-colonial, inward-looking country, impoverished and lacking the confidence to claim its place in the world. Perhaps we have finally taken our place among the nations, but at what price? As journalist Michael Viney predicted in 1967 in Growing Old in Ireland, we have become more selfish as our standards improve. The prosperity of the Celtic Tiger has seen the rise of a greed culture not dissimilar to the Thatcher era in Britain, and has brought its own problems, one of which is the property boom. Prices of property have soared to the steepest increase in Europe in a decade by over 130%, to a level beyond the means of most would-be buyers. Those who bought their houses before the first roar of the Tiger have seen the value of their property multiply fivefold and more, but those buying a home today face 40-year mortgages with ball-busting repayments. The cost of living has also soared, and the income gap between the haves and have-nots is among the worst in the developed world, according to a UN report in September 2005. The blatant greed of vested interests in collusion with corrupt officials illustrates clearly on a daily basis the collapse of capitalism as a working system. Statistics show that a new car costs 33% more in Ireland than the Eurozone average. Groceries cost 20% more, and even a visit to the pub, Ireland's traditional panacea for all ills, is now said to be the costliest in Europe. In what has become known as the Rip-Off Republic, a recent poll showed that 93% of those surveyed across all classes believe that they are in fact being ripped off. The pledges of social equality in the 1916 proclamation and the democratic programme of the first Dáil simply have not been kept. As early as 1965, Minister Kevin Boland declared that there has not been an equitable distribution of the increased prosperity to which we point as an achievement. Little did he know how much worse things would get. In the Irish Times on the 26th of the 1st, 1999, the divide in Irish society was described by Michael O'Loughlin as, on the one hand, a burgeoning underclass racked by drugs, gangsterism and poverty, and on the other, spectacular wealth, vulgarity and indifference. Independent socialist TD Joe Higgins claims that while the image of the Celtic Tiger was of unallied gold for everyone, the reality is that ordinary working people are under stress and strain as never before. Ireland's Central Statistics Office recently produced figures showing that a quarter of our population live at risk of poverty. 10 years ago, The Economist magazine examined the changing values of Ireland and asked, had a people who had often been presented as representing the antithesis of materialistic values become greedy and profit-obsessed as traditional allegiances were replaced by a negative individualism? For the answer to that question, we must look to the permanently poor, who have seen little improvement, and the seriously ill who squabble for trolleys in crowded hospital corridors. Ask the poorly treated disabled about the Special Olympics, during which so many showed such a caring face to the world, but then went back to ignoring the plight of our own handicapped citizens. Look at government officials who, together with some of our wealthiest leading citizens, stashed countless millions of pounds and euros in Anspacher Cayman Island accounts and conspired with our banks to conceal millions in fraudulent non-resident accounts. Look beyond the lip service paid to ecology by banning free plastic bags, although biodegradable plastic bags have been available for decades, while blatantly granting new licenses to refuse companies with appalling records of pollution disposal. One could fill a book with the crimes of the corrupt of New Ireland who pose as model citizens, but what would be the point if they continually evade accountability? Even in third world countries, revelations of this scale would result in mass resignations or even a coup. In such countries, the downtrodden have frequently turned to their church for guidance and solace, but in the New Ireland, this is hardly an option, since so many of our clergy have been shown to be as badly behaved and hypocritical as our worst criminals. This is a bleak picture for which I offer little in the way of counterbalance. However, nothing remains the same. Eminent commentators on the state of the planet predict that when oil runs out, we will be forced to return to a simpler, possibly happier lifestyle. We may even rediscover the joys of love and friendship.